Thank you very much. All right. So the first one we have is Anthony Evan. Mr. Evan is apparently here for arraignment. They could make this printing smaller. I just don't know how. This looks like a violation of pretrial release. Public defender has been appointed. All right, we're arraigning Mr. Evan. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on that charge. Do we have the case is going to remain in Division 50, which would be Judge Shoemaker. And do we have a date?
All
right.
At 2:30 p.m. courtroom 7C.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Evans. Next, we have
One second, Judge. We didn't quite hear the date on that.
I didn't hear anything.
June 4th.
June 4 at 2:30. All right. Next, we have Hadiana Golay. Ms. Golay is here for an in-jail arraignment. The public defender has been appointed. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty to that charge, which is violation of pretrial release. The case is set in Division 50 in front of Judge Shoemaker. The same date, Madam Clerk?
Same.
Then it'll be June 4 at 2:30. All right.
I'm sorry.
Do you need these back?
No.
All right. So next we should have Sandra Hernandez. Oh, you already told me, didn't you?
Hello, Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System. From a touch-tone telephone, you may dial an extension at any time. For a directory of extensions,
Okay, we're gonna call you back.
I have to add BRC first.
Yeah, we have to add BRC first. That's okay.
All right.
Hit in.
Oh, that's why I hit it end all. That's not good. All right. So I've got the interpreter up here. Do I need to end all?
Yeah.
Start all over again?
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job with the tutorial. Welcome back. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm adding the interpreter. Look at that. Okay. You know he's
Good
there.
afternoon, Your Honor. This is Theodore Leal, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has not been sworn yet.
All right. Welcome back. We now have the BRC and we have Mr. Interpreter. Madam Clerk, will you swear the interpreter, please? He said he is not.
Oh, do you swear to interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English testimonies you will receive today?
Yes, I do. Theodore Leal, certified court interpreter.
Okay, Mr. Interpreter, are you in contact with BRC? I think you need to contact them so that you your voice goes through the headphones to the
Courtroom 2.
courtroom too.
Yes, Your Honor. The interpreter is connected, but you still will check very quick whether the defendants can hear the interpreter. One moment, please.
All right.
Connected, Your Honor.
All right. And so do we have both Reynaldo Ponce and Sandra Hernandez? Is that why we have two folks there? All right. All right. So they are both charged with domestic violence battery. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. Do you have any recommendations for conditions of release? It was my intention to set bond in the amount of $500 on each. No hostile contact.
Your Honor,
Remain and separate residences.
as it said that there's not only verbal but physical altercations on a daily basis, I was going to ask for no contact.
Okay.
Your Honor, we'd like to request no hostile contact
Okay.
and also a one-time return if you order separate residence.
All right. The question is at 910 20th Street. I understand that both Mr. Ponce and Ms. Hernandez reside together there. Apparently, Ms. Hernandez, according to the charging affidavit, has been asking Mr. Ponce to leave. So it's. Let me ask Mr. Ponce, do you have another place to stay other than the address where this occurred?
No.
All right. Ms. Hernandez, do you have another place to reside other than the place where this occurred?
And so the interpreter is having a hard time. The microphone from the headphone is not working very well. If she could use the microphone that is on the podium instead.
No, solo con mi mamá.
No, just with my mom.
Okay, and then Ms. Hernandez, is the 910 20th Street, is that, who else resides in that residence? Is that where your mother lives as well?
Sí, mi padrastro, mi hermana, mi tío y mi hijo.
Okay.
Yes, my stepmother, my aunt, my son as well.
All right. All right. What I'm going to do is on the case of State of Florida versus Sandra Hernandez, I'm going to set bond. Does she qualify for pretrial release?
Hello, Your Honor. This is Officer Davis with Pretrial Services. No, Hernandez did not qualify. She currently has an ICE hold.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to order no contact directly or indirectly with Reynaldo Ponce. I'm going to require that the parties maintain separate residences. I'm going to require that Ms. Hernandez not consume any unprescribed medication or drugs, nor consume no alcohol, and have no weapons or firearms. It is the court's intention that should Ms. Hernandez be released, that she be permitted to return to the residence at 910 20th Street. As to Mr. Ponce, finding probable cause, setting bond in the amount of $500, requiring there be no contact directly or indirectly with Ms. Hernandez, require that they maintain separate residences. Mr. Ponce will be permitted one trip with law enforcement back to the home at 910 20th Street to obtain personal effects. Mr. Ponce, you're not going to start moving out furniture or other possessions, but merely what you can carry for personal effects in the presence of law enforcement. You're not to possess any firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or medication not prescribed. All right. He has another case? Hernandez. I don't appear to have another case.
He has a resisting without violence.
Okay, I think that they were separated, and that's deeper in this packet. I have them both here. I did review it. I can find it, or I can do it. Let me see if I can lay my hands on it real quick. Here it is. Wasn't hard. All right. So Mr. Ponce is also charged with resisting an officer without violence. I've already entered conditions release on the domestic violence battery. The resisting an officer without violence bond is to stay at $500. Public defender has been appointed.
Also, Your Honor, he as well also has an ICE detainer.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, the case interpreter could have the case numbers if they are available.
They are on Mr. Reynaldo Ponce. His case numbers are 2020 MM 3639 AO. And 2020 MM 3635 AO. On Ms. Hernandez, her case number is 2020 MM 3637 AO.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is this Lumari Martinez Camacho?
Sí.
Ms. Camacho is charged with domestic violence battery. I'm going to find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. State any recommendations on conditions of release?
If the victim isn't present, Your Honor, we always ask for no contact and no weapons or firearms.
I'm assuming that you'll let me know if we have any witnesses. Do we have any victim witnesses on Ms. Martinez Camacho?
No, Your Honor, we don't.
Okay, thank you. As I said, I find probable cause. Public defender has been appointed. I'm required that Ms. Martinez Camacho have no contact directly or indirectly with her mother. Appears to be Lizette Rivera. Maintain separate residences. Ms. Martinez Camacho will be permitted one trip back to the home to collect personal effects. No weapons or firearms. No alcohol, consume no alcohol or non-prescribed medication or recreational drugs. Thank you. Oh, that's a good idea, right? I'll set bond in the amount of $500. Oh. I'll get this down by the time I'm done this morning. Case number is 2020 MM 3644 AO. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Next, I have Roberto Mena Gamboa.
Yes.
Mr. Mena Gamboa is charged with battery domestic violence. I'm probable cause based upon the charging affidavit. Did any special recommendations?
Again, if no victim present, no contact, and no weapons or firearms.
Okay. All right. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to require that Mr. Mena Gamboa have no contact directly or indirectly with Ada Figueroa.
Okay.
Maintain separate residences. Consume no alcohol or non-prescribed medication or recreational drugs. No weapons or firearms. I think I already said that.
Your Honor, he does qualify for pretrial release.
Yo nunca he estado en eso.
Yeah, I've never been involved with those
A ella le
things.
dan crisis. A ella le dan crisis porque ella está enferma.
She's the one that is mentally imbalanced.
Okay. Well, it's going to be helpful that you're not to have any contact with her directly or indirectly. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500 or in the alternative pretrial release. That way, Mr. Mena Gamboa can choose which he would like to do. That way, you don't have to come back before the court. Case number.
No, yo quiero seguir las normas, pero...
Case number is 2020 MM3606AO.
Ella me va a salir a buscar y yo no
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mena Gamboa, it is, I have found probable cause and set conditions of release. Anything that you say isn't going to help your situation right now. You've got a public defender appointed. You're going to want to share your questions and comments with your lawyer, all right?
Ok, no, yo quiero salir en libertad.
Good luck, sir.
Pero, ¿cómo yo puedo...?
Next, we have Adalia Ramos Santos, charged with battery domestic violence. Find probable cause based upon the charging affidavit. I'm going to require no contact directly or indirectly with Ramon Seda. Maintain separate residences. Be permitted to return to the residence should they share one time with law enforcement to collect personal effects. Possess no firearms or weapons. Consume no alcohol, recreational drugs, or non-prescribed medication. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Case number is 2020 MM 3607. I thought I was kidding.
Your Honor, she also qualifies for pretrial release.
I'll give her the alternative to either elect pretrial release or post cash bond. Next is Brenda Yvette Silva Caban.
He need an interpreter. Your Honor, I think the victim also need an interpreter.
Okay, we have a victim here on Silva Caban.
Sí, sí.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Um,
He also need an interpreter.
okay. Madam Clerk, would you swear the witness, please?
Yes, please raise your right hand.
Levanta la mano derecha a los testigos.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios.
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Diga su nombre para que conste en actas.
Mi nombre es Jaime Colón Rodríguez.
My name is Jaime Colón Rodríguez.
All right. All right, Mr. Interpreter, this case number is 2020 MM 3610AO.
Thank you.
Mr. Colon Rodriguez, you have been identified as the victim in this case. It is a charge of domestic violence battery. Against you is the allegation or accusation against Ms. Silva Caban. I am finding probable cause.
Señor Colón Rodríguez, se teme que usted es la víctima de este caso. La acusación que hay es de violencia doméstica con agresión física. Hay una alegación o un señalamiento en contra de la señora Yvette Silva Cabana y determinó que si hay indicios de culpabilidad.
All right, Mr. Colon Rodriguez, before I set those conditions, you will have an opportunity to be heard as to what you would like me to know. State, would you like to inquire, or would you like me to inquire of Mr. Colon Rodriguez?
Can. Sir,
Señor Colón Rodríguez, usted tendrá oportunidad de ser escuchado en el tribunal si así lo desea.
okay. Sir, have there been any previous instances of violence between you?
Señor, ¿han habido circunstancias violentas previamente en el pasado?
No, es la primera vez.
No, it's the first time.
Do you have any concerns that violence will occur if she comes back home?
Y señor, ¿usted se siente preocupado o está inquieto si ella volviera a casa?
No, no me molesta porque es mi esposa. Siempre pasa la primera vez que pasa.
No, that wouldn't bother me at all. She's my wife and it's the first time it happens.
So you would like to have contact and have her come back home?
Así que usted quiere tener contacto con ella y que ella regrese a casa?
Correcto.
Correct.
That's all, Your Honor.
All right. It appears that the defendant and the victim have been married 28 years, according to the charging affidavit. Mr. Colon Rodriguez indicates this is the first time this has happened. Having found probable cause, I'm going to release Ms. Silva Caban on her own recognizance. I'm going to require that she not have any hostile contact with her husband, Jaime Colon Rodriguez. Ms. Silva Caban, what that means is that I have jurisdiction over you. I do not have jurisdiction over your husband. So you're going to want to be very careful and cautious that you not behave in any manner that your husband might find to be hostile. If he determines that your behavior is hostile, he can call law enforcement, and this condition of release may be violated, and you may have to spend the rest of your time in jail pending the resolution of this case.
Entonces, como están ya casados 28 años según el escrito de acusación, así parece ser, y el señor Colón ya dijo que era la primera vez que esto sucedía, yo estoy dispuesto a darle a la señora Silva entonces que salga con libertad bajo palabra, pero que no tenga ningún contacto hostil con el señor Jaime Colón Rodríguez. Eso lo que significa es que no puede tener ningún tipo de situación violenta o de confrontación con él, y usted tiene que ser muy cuidadosa, porque si su conducta pareciera ser hostil hacia él, él puede entonces llamar a las autoridades y usted estaría entonces violando las normas y entonces estaría que irse a la cárcel mientras este caso está en curso.
Your Honor, there's an active injunction between the defendant and the victim. It's a 2011 DR 013353-0, a non-expired active injunction.
Hay una orden de alejamiento ya entre el acusado y el denunciante, 211 DR 013353-0, y esa orden no tenía fecha de caducación.
All right. Well,
bueno,
Ms. Silva Caban, having released you on your own recognizance and having ordered that you not have hostile contact with your husband, I'm also going to order that you not consume alcohol, non-prescribed medication, or recreational drugs.
Así que con libertad bajo palabra se le prohíbe contacto hostil, se le prohíbe el consumo de alcohol y el consumo de drogas ilícitas.
I have been advised, as have you. Well, I have been advised that there is an existing domestic violence injunction.
Se me ha notificado que una orden de alejamiento que está vigente por violencia doméstica.
That would mean that if you return to the marital home or have any contact whatsoever, directly or indirectly, that may result in a violation of that injunction.
Entonces, si usted vuelve a la casa, eso querría decir entonces que habría una violación a esa orden de alejamiento si vuelven juntos.
I'm not going to take any action on that. I'm going to let you know that you are permitted to have no hostile contact with your husband. But you may want to be careful if there is, as I have been advised, an outstanding injunction for protection from domestic violence against. Madam, pretrial release, is that who's the petitioner in that injunction for protection from domestic violence, the defendant or the victim?
The defendant.
El acusado entonces es el peticionario en esa orden de alejamiento, aunque yo pienso no tomar acción y prohibir cualquier contacto hostil, así que tiene que ser sumamente cuidadosa.
All right, so the injunction is on her behalf against the victim?
Yes, Ms. Silva is the protected person. Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Silva is the protected person.
Okay.
La señora Silva es la persona protegida en la orden de alejamiento.
All righty then. Good luck.
Mucha suerte.
Thank you.
All right, next I have Carmen Yvette Abreu Velasquez.
Yes.
Ms. Abreu Velasquez is charged with trafficking in fentanyl, possession of cocaine, I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. I'm setting bond on the trafficking in fentanyl in the amount of $10,000. Possession of cocaine, I'll stay that bond in the amount of $150. I'm going to require that Ms. Abreu Velasquez have no contact with co-defendants Nelson, Correa, no Melendez. Public defender has been appointed. So this order of release, it is okay. Maybe it's not. All right, there's also a contempt of court with an order releasing Ms. Abreu Velez. This is on behalf of Jorge Cruz. This appears to be child support. All right. So that contempt hearing is going to be set on the 10th day of June at 2 p.m. Ms. Abreu Velasquez, you will be receiving some paperwork on that. Bond has previously been set on that case in the amount of $2,000. I'll stay that bond. Mr. Interpreter, the two case numbers are 2020 CF 6160AO. That's the fentanyl charge. The domestic charge contempt is DR 141171.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next I have Francisco Javier Abello Salgado. Mr. Albel Salgado is charged with grand theft, third degree, from a construction site and trespass on a designated construction site. I'm finding probable cause. Public defender has been appointed. I'm staying bond in the amount of $2,500 on the grand theft and $150 on the trespass. I'm requiring that Mr. Albella Salgado not return to the location of this crime.
Your Honor, Mr. Abuelo does qualify for pretrial release.
Okay. He has no other pending charges this time. I'm gonna stay with the original bond, and just looking for the address where this construction site was. Oh, here it is, 9143 Tecumseh Drive in Orange County, Florida. He's also to have no contact with Jose Juan Rivera, a co-defendant in this case. And Mr. Interpreter, I don't know whether I gave you the case number. It's 2020 CF 6162AO.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next we have Mary Elsie Soler Mercado. This is a failure to appear on the charge of driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. There is an outstanding capias. Based upon that capias, there's probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. Case number is 2018 CT 9417A-0.
Your Honor, would you be willing to resolve the matter today because it's from 2018?
Well, I do see, it looks as though there is the failure to appear for which the defendant was arrested. Do we know what the current situation with the driver's license is?
Your Honor, I don't have a copy of the driving record, but it was Miss Soler Mercado's first duelist.
Okay. State, do you have any thoughts on that? Okay. Would you show that to defense real quick? Oh, they've seen it? I'll take a look at it. All right. All right, it looks as though Ms. Soler Mercado's driving privilege is still suspended. Ms. Soler Mercado, do you qualify to get a Florida driver's license?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Do you intend to get a license, or did you want to resolve this today?
Tener mi licencia para atrás.
I would have my license. I would like to have my license back.
Okay. If you want to resolve the case today, I would accept a plea of no contest to the charge of driving while license suspended or revoked. I would adjudicate you guilty. That would count toward more enhanced penalties or severe penalties should you be convicted of this crime again. Under Florida law, you can't get 3 of these within a 5-year period or risk having your license revoked as an habitual traffic offender. I would credit you the time served, but it would be on your record as a conviction. If you wanted to, upon your release from jail, get your license reinstated, come back and see the judge with a valid license, there's a great likelihood the charge may be dismissed or reduced to something that would not have that impact going forward. You've indicated to me that you'd like to get your license. Whether you resolve the case today or are released, your release doesn't count on you resolving the case today. In other words, you can be released and come back another day.
Okay.
So would you like to come back another day with a valid license and see the judge and resolve it? Or do you want to resolve it today so you don't have to come back to court?
Regresa a donde Juan.
I'll come back and see the judge.
Okay, all right. And it may be that failure to appear will also be resolved at that time. This is the Division 85 case. Case number is 2018 CT 9417AO. You tried. Good luck. All right, good morning. I have before me Jose Alberto Nogu Collazo, who is before the court having been picked up on a probation violation.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, do you know is there a warrant for VOP? Out of Marion, that's why it says Marion. All right. This is an Ottawa County warrant. Bond is at none. I'll stay the bond at none for Marion County to come get the defendant. Case number is that's it? That's an agency case number. Is that all we have as an agency case number? Mr. Interpreter, if it helps, the agency case number out of Marion County, which is the same as the court case number, is 1900934.
They need it.
Thank you.
One of these. So this is not William Luna. Let me get his headset on and I'll ask him his name. That's the best way to know.
Only the victim needs the interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay. Is this William Luna or it doesn't look like a James Holt or a Brian
This is Sebastian.
Sebastian, okay. Okay. All right. This is Brian Isaac Sebastiani,
Yes, sir.
who's charged with domestic violence battery. I've reviewed the charging affidavit in case number 2020 MM3640AO. I find probable cause. We have a witness victim who is attending this morning. Can we go ahead and swear that witness, please?
Will you please raise your right hand?
Levante la mano derecha, la persona que es víctima.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad? ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name, please.
Buenos días, señora. Dígame su nombre.
Daisy Sebastiani.
Daisy Sebastiani.
Víctor Sebastián.
All right. And Miss Sebastiani, according to the charging affidavit, is the mother of the defendant?
La madre del acusado de acuerdo al escrito acusatorio.
Sí.
Yes.
State, did you want to inquire of the victim?
Ma'am, have there been prior instances of violence between you?
Señora, ¿han habido incidencias de violencia en el pasado entre ustedes?
No, nunca. Primera vez.
No, never. First time.
Do you have any concerns there could be violence if he returns home?
¿Y le preocupa de que haya violencia si él vuelve a la casa?
No, realmente. Él es mi hijo. Yo pienso que él está así por la tiroides. Le están dando medicina y ha hecho un cambio muy, muy drástico en cuanto a su carácter, pero él es un niño bueno.
Well, no, he's my son, and he's like that because of the thyroid. It's due to a treatment he's receiving, and it has made him change drastically in his demeanor. But otherwise, he's a good boy.
Would you like to have contact and have him come home?
Entonces, ¿quiere tener contacto con él y que él vuelva a casa?
Sí.
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nada más.
Mrs. Sebastiani, it is my job as the judge to protect. One of my jobs is to protect victims of crimes. I understand that your son is a good boy, and this has not happened before based upon your testimony.
Mi trabajo como juez, o uno de mis trabajos es proteger a las víctimas, señora Sebastiani. Y yo entiendo, según lo que usted dice, él es un buen muchacho y esto nunca ha ocurrido antes.
Así es.
That's right.
If I release him and permit him to return to your home, you have answered that you have no fear of him being in your home. Is that correct?
Si lo doy libertad para que entonces vuelva a casa y él vuelve a casa, ¿usted ha expresado que usted no tiene ningún temor de que él esté en su casa?
No, para nada.
No, not at all.
Okay. You understand that that puts you in a position where should your son act in a hostile manner toward you, it will be your responsibility to call the police, and your son will be taken back into custody and probably held in jail until the case is resolved. Do you understand that?
Ahora, usted entiende que esto la pone usted en una situación, en una posición de que si por algún caso su hijo vuelve a mostrar hostilidad en contra suya, usted tendría que llamar a la policía. Su hijo volvería otra vez a estar bajo custodia y a él lo retendrían bajo resguardo hasta que se resuelva el caso. ¿Entiende?
Sí, inmediatamente.
Yes, I do so immediately.
Okay. All right. It appears as though Mr. Sebastiani qualifies for pretrial release. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Parece que el señor Sebastiani califica para libertad provisional. Sí, su señoría.
I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to release Mr. Sebastiani on pretrial release.
Se va a liberar al señor Sebastiani bajo libertad provisional, habiendo ya determinado que hay indicios de culpa.
Conditions of those release is that he is not to have any hostile contact with either Victor Sebastiani, his father.
Yes.
Y también, según las condiciones, que no tenga contacto hostil con el señor Victor Sebastiani, el padre.
Okay.
Or Basie Sebastiani, his mother.
O Daisy Sebastiani, la madre.
Mr. Sebastiani, I do not have jurisdiction over your parents. I have jurisdiction over you. Please understand that should your parents feel as though you are behaving in a manner that is hostile, even if you don't believe that you're behaving hostilely, all they have to do is call the police and you'll be, your conditions of release will be revoked. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Entienda que yo no tengo autoridad sobre los padres, pero sí tengo autoridad sobre usted. Y si en algún momento ellos llaman a la policía porque usted no se está comportando bien, se está comportando hostil, entonces se le revocaría la libertad provisional.
Okay. I'm also going to require as conditions of release that you maintain prescribed medication, that you do not take any not prescribed medication.
Y también como condición que tome solamente medicamentos recetados por un médico, no puede tomar ningún narcótico o medicamento que no sea recetado.
That you consume no recreational drugs.
Que no consuma drogas para efectos de recreación.
And that you possess no weapons or firearms.
Y que no porte ni armas de fuego ni ningún tipo de armas.
All right. Pretrial release is, does he meet weekly with pretrial release or upon the request of pretrial release? Can you clarify that for Mr. Sebastiani?
Para que haga una aclaratoria, el señor Sebastiani.
Yes, he has a low risk assessment score, so he'll be reporting pretrial by telephone monthly.
Okay.
Se reportará por teléfono mensualmente ya que tiene bajo nivel de riesgo.
Bi-weekly. I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Bi-weekly.
Okay. All right.
Perdón, y semanal. Perdón, su señoría.
All right, Mr. Sebastiani, you're going to want to be very careful and be certain that you understand all the requirements of pretrial release. You don't want to make a mistake and not do what you're required to do, because again, that will result in pretrial release being revoked. All right?
Tienen que ser muy cuidadosos, señor Sebastián, de que entienda todos los requisitos y normas de libertad provisional, porque si no se le puede revocar esa libertad provisional.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Suerte, señor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Is this Mr. Holt?
No, Mr. Luna.
Mr. Luna?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Your Honor, Mr. Luna does not require interpreter, I believe.
I think that's all. Do we have any other
No, Your Honor.
Would you, Mr. Interpreter, would you just make an announcement? Will they be able to hear him? Would you make an announcement in the gallery out at the BRC if there are any witnesses that are in need of services, of your services, please?
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Alguno de los presentes requiere servicio de intérprete en español? Levante la mano.
All right. And then corrections, I understand there's no further need of the interpreter for inmates. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter. Enjoy your day.
You too. You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right. So we have William Luna, who's here on a charge of violation of a domestic violence injunction. Mr. Luna was found sleeping in the shed of his parents' home. Based upon the facts contained in the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause on the charge of violation of domestic violence injunction. Mr. Luna was also on probation. There's an allegation of violation of probation. Now it appears as though I have two cases for which Mr. Luna was on probation, one out of Division 20 and one out of Division 22. Those violations of probation carry no bond. I'm going to stay the bond at none. On the violation of domestic violence injunction, I'll set a bond in the amount of $1,500. On the violation of domestic violence injunction in 20 MM 3648AO, although there's already an injunction in place, a condition of release is to have no contact directly or indirectly with the petitioners of that injunction, which appear to be Juan Luna. Don't know if the other one is his mother, but have no contact with the residents of 3114 Dwarf Pine Avenue. No contact and no return. And I think that takes care of all of Mr. Luna's cases. Good luck, Mr. Luna. Is this James Holt?
No, sir. This is Samuel Benton.
Okay. All right. And, sir, what is your name, please?
Samuel Benton.
All right. Mr. Benton, you are here
Yeah.
on the charge of possession of meth and possession of synthetic cannabinoids. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 on the meth possession and $150 on the synthetic cannabinoid. Public defender has previously been appointed, or I'm appointing.
Okay.
All right. This is Mary Frances Curley
Yes, sir.
Curley is here on a warrant for failure to report every 30 days in violation of Florida Statute 9430435, subparagraph 4, subparagraph B1. There's also a charge of violation of condition of pretrial release. Find probable cause on the violation of pretrial release. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to set bond on the failure to report. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,000. Can I require her to report? Is there, State, can you help me out on this one? I know under the statute she's required to report. She's not reported. There's been a warrant for her arrest for failure to report. Can I make a condition of her release that she report?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. I believe she reports to the sheriff's office. Let's see. All right. Orange County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to require that Ms. Curley report to the Orange County Sheriff's Office pursuant to the statute and to register within 48 hours of release. Let me make that 72 hours in case she gets released on a weekend.
Thank you.
Within 72 hours.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Deanna Day, refused court.
Okay. Madam Clerk, what question did you have for me? No, I still need to do that without the interpreter? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do better. The case numbers, I thought I was off the hook. The case numbers on Ms. Curley are 2020 CF 5550 and also 2019 CF 132838AO. The violation of condition of release is the 19 and the failure to register is the 2020. Is the court reporter missing anything else? Okay. She refused. All right, good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
James Holt.
Oh. All right. So, Mr. Holt. Here on the charge of battery domestic violence, I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. The public defender is appointed. Is Ms. Mitchell here?
Yes.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you swear Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but truth after God?
Yes.
All right. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Georgia Mitchell.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, I have found probable cause on the case of State of Florida versus James Holt. You've been identified as the victim in this case. You have a right to be heard before I determine the appropriate conditions of release. State, would you like to inquire of Ms. Mitchell?
Ms. Mitchell, have there been previous instances of violence between you?
Yes.
Look straight.
How many times?
Numerous.
Do you want to continue to have contact with Mr. Holt?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. All right. As I said, I'm going to find, I found probable cause. The public defender is appointed. I'm going to set bond, in this case, in the amount of $1,000. I'm going to require that there be no contact directly or indirectly with the victim, in this case, Georgia Mitchell. Mr. Holt, what that means is I have jurisdiction over you. I don't have jurisdiction over Ms. Mitchell. You are not to have any contact directly or indirectly. You're not to email her, text message her. You're not to contact her in any fashion whatsoever, have anyone else on your behalf have contact with her. If you do that, what will happen is she will contact law enforcement and the conditions of your release will be revoked. You'll be permitted to return to the location where this occurred, which appears to be 11,000 Lake Underhill Road, where you reside, one time with law enforcement to collect personal effects only.
Your Honor, that's not the address.
It's not? I'm sorry.
It's 5666.
Okay. 5666, is it Lake Underhill?
No.
Okay, why don't you give us that address? Oh, there it is. 5666 Century 21 Boulevard.
Yes.
All right, and then that's in Orlando?
Yes.
Okay. So you're to return to that location one time with law enforcement to collect personal effects. You're not to have any contact. You're not to return to that location except for that one time. You're not to possess any firearms or weapons. You're not to consume any alcohol or non-prescribed medication or recreational drugs.
Your Honor, I just want to advise that he does qualify for pretrial release.
All right, thank you.
Judge, could I ask for an order of protection?
You can do that. That's got to be done through the clerk's office if what you're talking about is a petition for protection from domestic violence.
Yes, sir.
That's not something I have ordered, that Mr. Holt have no contact with you. So if he violates that, that will be a condition of his release that will be revoked.
Okay.
You may be able to obtain some information while you're out at the booking and release center where you are currently, as far as how to obtain an injunction. That would be through the clerk's office. You fill out an affidavit, and they'll tell you how that's being done currently. I know how it's been done in the past, but that's not being, I don't know if it's being done the same way, whether you appear at the clerk's office or what they have you do. All right?
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Good luck. Is this Kim Hall?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Hall is here on the charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, that being an axe. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount. Do we have the either of the victims here?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. I'm going to require that Ms. Hall have no contact directly or indirectly with Jonathan E. McMillan or Linda S. McMillan. That Ms. Hall not consume any alcohol or non-prescribed medication or any recreational, she's not to use any recreational drugs. She is also not to have any weapons, including axes or firearms. Public defender is appointed.
Your Honor, was that $1,000 for each charge?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, we have 2 aggravated assault charges. There'll be a, let me make that $1,000 on each for a total of $2,000. And that case number, Madam Clerk, is 2020 CF 6161.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Jimmy Legret, refused court.
Okay.
Your Honor, we can waive their appearance.
All right. All right. So do you want me to make a determination of probable cause and set conditions of release in their absence? In Mr. Lordyeth's absence?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Public defender has been appointed. Looks like Mr. Lordyeth is out on release on 2020 CF 6139, 2020. Oh, it's It's all the same one on different sheets. Trespassing, resisting without violence, petty theft, trespass through an occupied structure or conveyance, burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, criminal mischief.
Your Honor, we ask that you take no action on those due to competency issues.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. I'm going to stay the bond at $3,500 and take no action on the outstanding cases under 2020 CF 6139. And the case number on this is, oh, there you go. I looked at that earlier. 2020 MM 18AA, 2018 MM 656 AA, 2019 MM 152 AA, 2016 CF 1456. Has there been a notice of incompetency filed on any of these cases? Do we know?
I see that there was a competency hearing set, but I need a moment to look into.
That was more curiosity. It wouldn't affect what I'm going to do today, but that appears as though since you've identified competency as an issue, some of these cases go back to 16. So that can be addressed at that time. Okay, so that's pending? Okay. 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 All right. And it seems as though while he was on conditional release, he committed a new law violation. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Is this Mr. Faison?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Neal.
Yeah.
Faison Hezekiah Neal.
I prefer, if you want to know what I prefer to be called Jameson. But
okay. Well, I've got you under that booking name, so I'm going to use that so the clerk doesn't get confused.
That's cool.
All right. Mr. Neal is here on the charge of driving under the influence.
Your Honor, can I say something?
I don't recommend that you do, Mr. Neal. My decision isn't going to be, you're not going to affect what I'm going to do today. Okay. You may say something that's going to hurt your case. The public defender is appointed, and you may, lawyers get real nervous when their clients say things.
Well,
we're all being recorded. So I think you're good. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond the amount of $500.
Am I getting out today?
If you're able to post bond, you'll get out today.
If I don't post bond, when would I get out?
You can talk with your lawyer about that. Good luck, sir. Oh, sure. Actually, before Mr. Neal leaves, does he qualify for pretrial release?
No, you're right. He did not qualify.
With this whole situation.
Okay, Mr. Neal, hold on. I didn't see whether he qualified for pretrial release. I'll give him, if he qualifies, I'll give him the choice for pretrial release.
No, Your Honor, he didn't qualify.
Okay, all right. All right, good luck, Mr. Neal. Okay. And Mr. Neal's case number is 2020 CT 371 AE. Is this Blaine Bartley?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bartley is charged with trespass after warning at a 7-Eleven located at 901 South OBT. I'm going to find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. It appears as though Mr. Bartley is also out on bond on 2019 CF conditions of release, 2019 CF 17122 AO. The charge of possession of controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. He's also out on in Osceola County in 2019 MM 3486. 2 counts of battery and threatening a public servant.
Man, come on, man.
State, do you want to be heard on those 2 charges? One goes back to December of 2019. The other one goes back to September of 2019.
Looks like there are competency hearings pending on those cases as well, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take no action on those outstanding cases. I am going to find probable cause. The public defender is appointed, and I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. Mr. Bartley, you are not to return to that 7-Eleven for any manner whatsoever. And that case number is 2020 MM 3641.
You know what they're gonna do to me?
Good luck, sir.
What is the bond, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
$500.
Okay.
Daryl Fountain.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Fountain is charged with trespass after warning at Lake Eola Park. Is Mr. Fountain, are you interested in getting this resolved today?
Yes, sir.
Do we know how many days Mr. Fountain has in? Looks like he was arrested on the 18th. Today's the 19th, so it'll be 2 days. All right. All right, Mr. Fountain, if you want to resolve this case today, I would adjudicate you guilty of trespass. I'd sentence you to the 2 days in the Orange County Jail you've already served. I have to impose court costs, which should run you about, gosh, I'm out of practice. $274? $273. And I'd give you up to a year to pay that off. Your release is not conditioned on your entering a plea. What that means is, if you feel as though you're not guilty of this charge and you want to come back to court another day, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance with an order that you not return to Lake Eola Park, and you can come back and dispute the accusation against you. So, your entering a plea today you're getting released doesn't turn on you entering a plea. But if you want to get it over with today, I'd sentence you to the time that you've already served.
I can either be sentenced to the time that I've already been served, or I can get released on my own recognizance.
Correct. But you'd have to come back to court on another day
to officially resolve the case.
Correct.
I just like to get it over with. Hopefully, it doesn't count against me later. I just want to be resolved. I just want to get it over with.
Okay. So do we have plea forms for Mr. Fountain that he will sign, or am I going to do this just verbal? They're not doing plea forms? Okay. All right. Mr. Fountain, I understand that you want to resolve this case by entering a plea of no contest. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone pressured or forced you into entering this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No, sir.
Understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported by entering this plea.
I understand.
Okay. All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of, so you're not going to contest the charge. You're not admitting guilt. I'm going to adjudicate you to be guilty of trespass, so it will appear on your record. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. I'm going to credit you the 2 days that you've already served, so you're going to be released today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I have to impose court costs. They are mandatory. I'll give you up to a year to pay those off.
Right.
That'll all be on your paperwork how you do that.
Thank you.
You have 30 days to appeal the sentence that I just imposed. If you want to appeal, that appeal has to be in writing, and I can appoint a lawyer for that appeal if you need one.
Right.
I'm going to advise you, Mr. Fountain, that although you're being released today without any conditions, if you've resolved the case, it's probably not in your best interest to return to Lake Eola Park. All right?
All right.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And that case number is 2020-160. Nope, it's not. 2020 MM 3638 AO. All All right, good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Lopez?
Yes, I'm Mr. Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, you are charged with trespass on property after warning. This was at a Walmart located at 11250 East Colonial Drive.
Yeah.
Did you want to resolve this case today, or did you want to come back another day?
I want to resolve it today. I want to go home and get on my skateboard, go fishing, and just believe in God and just drink beer, and that's it. And work. Okay. Work hard. That's it.
All right.
And get a girlfriend.
So it appears as though Mr. Lopez was also arrested on May 18th. Today's the 19th. That means he has 2 days in?
Yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Lopez, I understand that you want, before I go forward with the plea, if you want to come back another day, I will release you on your own recognizance with instructions that you have to come back on another day. That is to say, you're being released today doesn't turn on your entering a plea to the charge. You understand that?
Yeah, I just want no problems. That's it. I'm trying to keep it simple and just work and fish and skate and believe in God, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Has anyone pressured you or forced you into entering a plea of no contest to this charge?
Nope. I'm just a simple 22-year-old boy, trying to get a girlfriend. That's it. Skate, fish, believe in God, and work, and that's it.
Okay. So I'm going to
trying to keep it simple.
All right. Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
No, I drink a light beer. I believe in God, and that's it. I have a slight religiousness to me, like a stern Christianity to me, but I'm not too religious, and let's say it's a complicated relationship with me and God, but I'm just a simple guy just trying to work, fish, skate, and just get a girlfriend and work. I'm a hard worker most of all, and I was waiting for a call for one of the lechonera restaurants in Union Park to work, and that's it. Just to work there and, work a simple job, be a simple worker. That's it.
All right. So you're not under the influence of alcohol or drugs. No one's pressured you or forced you. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported, right?
Yep. U.S. citizen. I have my ID, Social Security, everything, and that's it. I'm ready to go home. That's it.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of trespass on property after warning. I'm going to adjudicate you to be guilty of that offense. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days that you've already served. I have to impose mandatory court costs, which are going to run you $273. I'll give you up to a year to pay that off. You go to the collections clerk in room 210, 210, to set up a payment plan if you like. I'm also going to require that you not return to the Walmart where this occurred at 11250 East Colonial Drive. They don't want you back there, and no good comes of you going back there. So
got it.
Stay away from there and skateboard and fish and find a girlfriend. And I think you'll be all set.
Yeah.
You have 30 days to appeal my sentence if you want to appeal.
Yes, I want to appeal.
Writing, and I can appoint a lawyer if you can't afford one for that appeal, all right?
Right, got it.
Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to guess that you're Jolene Marroquin.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Marroquin, you are charged. Good question. You're charged with trespass on property after warning at I believe, the Gas and Go.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm guilty.
All right. It appears as though you were arrested on the 18th. You've got 2 days in as well. What I would do, Ms. Marroquin, you've got two choices. I can release you on your own recognizance with instructions to come back another day to contest this charge. Or if you want to get the case resolved today, I will accept a plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to the time that you've already served, and impose mandatory court costs a year to pay. So you're getting out today doesn't depend upon your admitting to the charge. You're going to be out either way, but you can either be out and come back another day to address the charge, or enter a plea of no contest, indicating you're not going to contest the charge and you don't have to come back. So which of those two things do you think you'd like to do?
So if I say guilty, I get out still today?
Correct.
I'll say guilty.
And if you say not guilty, you still get out today, but you have to come back another day to address the charge.
I'll say guilty.
Okay. Has anyone pressured you or forced you into saying guilty?
Oh, no.
All right. Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I also see that you've got You're currently out on 20 CT 1142 on a bond. That was from January. Do we know what's going on with that? CF? Oh, it's a felony petty theft. Okay. I can't imagine what impact pleading to a trespass would have on that pending case. I'm not gonna take any action on the outstanding bond.
Thank you.
Then public defender, anything I need to advise Ms. Marroquin of as it relates to that pending charge?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we know whether they filed on that one yet?
July 13th.
Okay. And that's in front of which judge? Division 17? Judge White. All right, Ms. Marroquin, I will advise you, even though you are entering a plea to this case today, I've accepted your plea.
Yeah.
Because you've indicated no one's pressured to force you, you're not under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported.
Yes.
That's going to resolve this misdemeanor, but you still have that felony. So don't think that everything's gone away. You don't show up for your case management. Judge White will issue a warrant for your arrest. Bad things happen, okay?
Alrighty. Thank you.
As to the, well, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I'm not done yet. So I've accepted your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you to be guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days you've already served.
Yeah.
Court costs are $273. You've got a year to pay those. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence that I just imposed. If you want to appeal, that appeal must be in writing, and I can appoint a lawyer if you can't afford one. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Have
You're
a
welcome.
great day.
Thanks. You as well. And that case number is 2020 MM 426AW. Are you Mr. Robinson?
Yes, sir.
All right, Billy Robinson. Mr. Robinson, you are charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. I'm going to find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500, and you'll get a new court date to come back. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Eugene Trudeau, is refused court.
I'm sorry, that's Eugene Trudeau?
Yes, he refused court.
Your Honor, we'd like to waive his appearance.
Okay. All right, he's represented by the Office of the Public Defender. The public defender is waiving his appearance at initial appearances. He's charged with trespass on property after warning and petty theft. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of, I'm going to stay the bond on $500 on the trespass, $100 on the petty theft. Require he not return to the Walmart located at 11250 East Colonial Drive. The public defender has been appointed. Mana Blue?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Blue is charged with domestic violence. Do we have any witnesses or victims here on Ms. Blue's case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to require that Ms. Blue have no contact directly or indirectly with Robert Blue. Ms. Blue, do you reside at the 5952 Turnbull Drive address with your brother?
Yes.
Do you have any other place to go?
No.
Who else lives in that house?
My mom and my grandpa.
Okay. All right. I'm going to require that you maintain separate residences, have no contact directly or indirectly with Mr. Blue, your brother, Robert Blue.
Yes.
You're permitted to return one time with law enforcement to collect personal effects. You're not to consume any alcohol. or recreational drugs or non-prescribed medication. You're not to have any weapons, firearms of any kind. All right, good luck.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I take care of my grandfather. There's no way that I can't stay home. And me and my brother, we only got into one little fight, and I know for a fact that he wouldn't want me to sign this. And I'm saying I can't sign this, sir.
Okay, well, based upon the information that I had, I've found probable cause and I've set conditions of release. You've got a public defender appointed. You can certainly talk to that lawyer about any modification to those conditions. Good luck.
Okay.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Lamar Ray, mental health.
Okay. All right. Looks like Mr. Ray's got quite a few trespass charges pending, and he's currently charged with disorderly conduct. Are we going to revisit him tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, who's next? Good morning. Tell me your name, please. I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
Zalaya. Your Honor, she's on the misdemeanor pleables.
Okay. Because she doesn't look like a Raymond Anderson or a Jose Torres. And clerk, where am I gonna work? Can we pass her till we get to her, or is there a reason that?
There was a reason why we moved her up, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Last name Zalaya. Zela.
Zalaya. Okay.
Ya.
Would it be quicker for you to look through this, Madam Clerk, or shall I just? No. Will you?
Yes.
All right. You can do that fast. Zalaya with a Z.
But we can just bring the writs on in while they're looking for it. But I guess we can bring the writs on in.
Is that Zalaya?
Thank you. All right, Ms. Zalaya is charged with trespass and resisting an officer without violence, resulting from an incident at the CVS at 7300 Curry Ford Road. Ms. Zalaya also has a case in my division, and she's represented by Ms. Lamphere, that being trespass. She's out on a $500 bond from March. Okay. So, Ms. Zalaya, did you want to resolve these cases today?
Yeah.
So she was arrested today. So she's got 1 day in? All right, Ms. Zalaya, if you want to resolve these cases today, I would accept a plea to the trespass. I'd adjudicate you guilty of that, so it would appear on your record as a conviction. I would withhold conviction on the resisting without violence. I would impose a sentence of 4 days. I'd give you credit for. So, Madam Clerk, it says the date and time of arrest was May 18th at 11:59. So it'd be 2 days by 1 minute. I'd sentence you to 5 days and give you credit for 2 days, meaning that you'd serve an extra 3 days. I'm going to take no action on the other pending misdemeanor trespass that you have. Court costs would be mandatory in the amount of $273. Alternatively, I'll set conditions of release, and you can come back another day and resolve those cases. Which would you like? What would you like to do?
Okay.
Oh, she said for sentencing? Oh, she's already pled to that? It says return date. 2019. Ms. Zalaya, give us 1 minute to figure out what we've got here. So that's the 2019 MM 9023AO? Okay. Okay. Does it say what she was going to do for sentencing? Since she has an assistant public defender in my division, Ms. Lamphere, on the 2019, does the public defender want to be heard? Do you want to withdraw? If she wants to resolve these cases, I'd resolve all 3 cases for her today. Since she's represented, I probably can't do the 2019 case that she set for sentencing on June 22nd. Doesn't say. Usually if I put off for sentencing, she's going to do community service or something. Or if I don't resolve it today, can I combine these into Division 62? Transfer? 62? Okay. I'm sorry, I did not hear that. It says Division 62, and I recognize the name of my assistant public defender, so I'm going to see her back on June 22nd or whenever we do cases again. It appears as though, according to the charging affidavit, this is a previous. She may have returned to where she was previously trespassed. I don't know. There might be something more going on here. What would you like me to do with the cases, Madam Public Defender?
If the Miss Zalaya would like to resolve all her cases, then she can today.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I've accepted the plea already. Did I adjudicate or withhold, or was I waiting? Okay. $132 days on the one that's in front of me. Okay, and then how many days does she have? Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, all right. Well, now I'm up to speed. Okay. All right, so Ms. Zalaya, you appeared in front of me before, and you entered a plea to another trespass. You've got another trespass And I don't have that in front of me, so I'm not sure if it's at the same location. And now you've got it resisting as well. If you want to resolve all the cases today, I've already accepted a plea on the old case. I'll sentence you on that. I'll accept the plea on this, and I'll sentence you to that. The other choice that you've got is something maybe going on here that lands you back in jail. I can set conditions of release, and you can talk to your assistant public defender about resolving all 3 cases together. I'll keep the 2 new cases if that's what you want to do. Your assistant public defender or a representative of the public defender's office is not going to stand in your way of resolving the cases today. What I would do on those cases would be to permit the public defender to withdraw, so you'd enter a plea without counsel. You have a lawyer, you have a right to consult with that lawyer, and I want you to be certain that you know what you're doing. But I'll stand by what I said I would do, which is to sentence you to 5 days with credit for 2 days on the new charges, and I'll sentence you on the other charge that you have in front of me to the time you already served on that one.
Your Honor, can I advise the client?
Sure.
Ms. Zalaya, my name is Zara Manikia. I'm a public defender. I advise that you resolve these cases at a later date after you speak with your attorney.
All right. Ms. Zalaya, do you currently reside at the 12505 McGuire Drive address?
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you live, on McGuire Drive?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Who do you live there with?
Just myself.
Okay. Are you employed?
Not recently.
Okay. I think I know the answer to this, but does Ms. Zalaya qualify for pretrial release?
Does not qualify.
Okay. Okay. This is what I'm going to do, Ms. Zalaya. There's something going on here. You've got counsel. Your counsel is recommending that you discuss these cases with your lawyer before I resolve them. I think that's a good idea. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to release you on bond $100 on the trespass and $100 on the resisting. I'm going to have the clerk combine all these cases in front of me, so you only have one judge to remember to come in front of. I'm going to require that you not return to the CVS located at 7300 Curry Ford Road. No good comes of you returning there. I'm also required that you not consume alcohol, that you not use any recreational drugs or any non-prescribed medication while you're out on release. You were to keep in contact with your lawyer. You're going to contact your lawyer within 72 hours of your release. Make an appointment with your lawyer to talk about all 3 of these cases. I'm not going to take any action on the trespass case for which you are currently out on bond, that being 2019 MM 9023AO. Your public defender on that case is Kaylee Lamphere. You're going to want to talk to Ms. Lamphere. And can I, since I'm releasing her and keeping these cases, can I set her for the June 22nd date? Or does she need to go through arraignment? Arraign? All right. Can I arraign her right now? Can I make more headaches for you? Well, she's already sentenced. She's already currently scheduled to see me on June 22nd. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. All right. All right. So, Ms. Zalaya, this is what has happened. You have an assistant public defender. You have a return date of June 22nd on another case. All your cases are going to be in front of me on that date. I've set bond on the 2 new cases at $100 each. I'm staying the bond on the other case, so you don't have to do anything with that. It's going to be really important you talk to your lawyer before you come back and see me. And we're going to arraign you on June 22nd. It'll all be in your paperwork, all right? Is that all right? Yep. Okay. Okay. Going back in order? All right. Is there a chance that this might be Mr. Anderson?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Mr. Anderson appears to be here on child support. I have a case number DR 99-13433. It's a contempt of court. Bond is set in the amount of $2,000. There's a return date of June 10th at 11:30 in the morning. So I have a lot of paperwork for. Looks like there was a writ of bodily attachment. That might be what he was picked up on. Yeah. All right. And so that bond on that writ was $2,000. Okay. All right. Good luck, sir.
What's that?
Joseph Torres?
Yes, sir.
All right. Torres is here on a writ of bodily attachment on DR 096126. Charge of contempt. I'm going to, the order of release is going to direct Mr. Torres to return on June 10th at 1:30 p.m. There's a bond in the amount of $1,500.
Yes, sir. The contempt was about what?
I'm sorry, sir?
The contempt was about what?
It appears to be child support.
Yeah, but I mean, you're saying contempt is that I failed to show up somewhere?
It appears that you failed to appear at a scheduled hearing on the 10th day of March.
I didn't know anything about that hearing, sir. I mean, I've been having problems with my sister trying to evict me out of my own house where my father is, and somehow she's been diverting my mail.
Okay.
And I have no.
I understand that. There's been a writ of bodily attachment signed by the hearing officer for your having failed to appear. I'm simply advising you that that's the reason that you're here. There was bond attached to that at $1,500, and there's a return date on the 10th of June.
Okay, so
there's nothing else for me to do. Good luck.
I would have to pay $1,500 that I don't have.
Sir, at this time, I'm simply advising you that the writ has been served on you, and the bond amount is $1,500. You will be?
Yes.
So why is your bond amount on?
It's always
Someone will tell him that. Okay. You could have told me that sooner.
Oh, I'm
You know, it's good news for him. All right. Is this Miss Fletcher?
Yes.
All right. Miss Fletcher, you are charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I think, is this the perfume bottle? All right. Do we have Tamia Matherin here?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm assuming we have no other victims. Is that right? You did those first. Is that right? Now, I'll take that as yes. All right. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500.
Can I say something?
Not yet. I'm going to require that Ms. Fletcher have no contact directly or indirectly with Tamia Matherin. They are to maintain separate residences. I've got the 52 West Underwood, and then I've got a 5011 Savannah River Way.
No, she didn't say anything.
Miss Fletcher, where do you reside?
5011 Savannah River Way.
Okay. And who do you reside there with?
Crystal McKnight.
All right. Does Tamia Matherin stay there?
I was staying there and she came and I told her she can't come, but she refused to leave. And I called you guys.
Okay. All right. I don't want you to say anything else. I'm just trying to sort out where people stay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to require you have no contact with Tamia Martin. I'm going to require that you, so you're not going to have any contact directly or indirectly. If you don't reside together
No, but
at the
she's
5,000.
staying there.
Okay. Well, then you're going to have to find another place to go until she leaves. You're going to maintain separate residences. You're not to have any weapons or firearms. You're also not to consume any alcohol, recreational drugs, or not prescribed medication. All right. The public defender is appointed. Ms. Fletcher, you're dying to tell me some stuff. I will tell you that no good comes of you saying anything. These proceedings are being recorded. Anything you say could be used against you at a later time. You're better off talking with your assistant public defender who may be able to help you through this case. All right? Good luck.
Your Honor, can we request a one-time return?
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course. I meant to include that. Thank you. Ms. Fletcher, you're entitled to return to that address on Savannah Court, I think. One time with law enforcement to collect personal effects.
Okay.
And did the clerk need the case number on that? No, did I give? I don't think I gave the clerk the case number. Madam Clerk or Mr. Clerk, it's 2020 CF 6154AO. Good luck. Is this Mr. Stringer?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Stringer, you are charged with aggravated battery causing great bodily harm and resisting an officer without violence. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 on the aggravated battery. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500 on the resisting. I'm going to require that you have no contact directly or indirectly with Whitney Marlene Lawrence. You're to maintain separate residences. I don't know if one of you is staying at the Budget Motel or you both are. You're to consume no alcohol, possess no firearms or weapons, consume no illegal recreational drugs or non-prescribed medication. If you're both staying at the Budget Motel at 1647 South OBT, room number 114, you'll be permitted to return there one time with law enforcement to collect your possessions. And I think if I hadn't already say it, no contact directly or indirectly with the other victim, with the victim. Case number is 20 CF 6174A-0. All right, is this Chauncey Fluellen?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Fluellen, you are charged with stalking.
Yes.
Find probable cause on the charge of stalking. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. I'm going to require that you have no contact, directly or indirectly. That includes text messaging, emailing, having friends contact Nicolette Coffee. Any violation of that no contact order, Mr. Fluellen, is going to result in your conditions of release being revoked, and you're going to sit in jail until this case is over. So there's no driving by the apartment. There's no knocking on the door, leaving flowers, talking to friends to talk to her, text message, Instagram, Facebook, none of that. No contact whatsoever. According to the charging affidavit, you do not reside at the same location, so there's no reason to return. You're not to consume any alcohol or drugs. You're not to either recreational or non-prescribed medication. No weapons or firearms, and the case number is 2020 MM361280. All right, good luck, sir. Yes?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Fluellen is currently out on bond on an Orange County case. It's
Yes. I may have overlooked it. They didn't have it on there? What's the other? What?
It's case number 2020 CF 67180.
What division and what's that charge?
It's Division 12 for written threats to kill or do bodily harm.
Can you tell if it's the same victim?
And the clerk's looking it up right now. She's not. Okay. That's kind of timely and important to know. Do you need that case number again, Madam Clerk? You have it? Okay.
Yes, it is the same victim.
Ooh.
But I didn't come in contact with her.
I'll wait for that to get pulled up and we'll see what's up. We determined it's the same victim. Do we know what the current status of the 2020 CF 671AO is? And the Division 12, what judge is that? Okay. And does he have a bond? Is he on bond on that? He would have already gone through arraignment if he's at PTO. $1,500 bond. All right, what I'm going to do, I've previously entered conditions of release on the stalking, set bond in the amount of $1,000 with other than no contact. On 2020 CF 671A-0, written threats to kill, I'm going to revoke the bond and conditions of release of $1,500. And Mr. Fluellen can take that up with Division 12 judge. So having revoked that, do we need to set bond at none, or I'm just revoking? I'll set bond at none. I'll let Division 12 decide what they want to do with Mr. Fluellen. Is this Jose Luna?
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, Mr. I'm sorry, good afternoon, Mr. Luna. Mr. Luna is charged with domestic violence battery on James Brown. I find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. I am going to I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500, require that Mr. Luna have no contact directly or indirectly with Mr. Brown. Does not appear that they reside together. There'll be no contact, as I said, no consumption of alcohol or recreational drugs, no weapons or firearms. I think that's it. And that case number is 2020 MM 3609AO.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket does have a victim here.
Is that Nicole Spangler?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Spangler is charged with domestic violence battery on Giancarlo Bologna. I find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. Before I set conditions of release on Ms. Spangler, would you please swear? Is Mr. Bologna there?
Right here.
All right, why don't you go ahead and swear Mr. Bologna?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Giancarlo Bologna.
All right. State, would you like to inquire of Mr. Bologna, the alleged victim in this domestic violence case?
Yes, sir. Have you had violence between you and Miss Spangler previously?
No.
Are you concerned that if you have contact with her, there could be violence again?
I'm not concerned, no.
Would you like to have contact with her?
Yes, I would.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, State, do you have a recommendation on conditions?
No hostile contact, no weapons or firearms, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
She qualify for PTR?
yes, Your Honor, she does qualify.
Okay, is that what you were going to tell me, or I interrupted you?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Bologna, I've read the charging affidavit, and I understand that you're not in fear of Miss Spangler, but it does appear that when alcohol is involved, bad things happen.
Yes, sir.
You understand the state is recommending, and you've told me that you have no problem with her returning to the residence that you share. Is that right?
That's correct.
You understand that should the situation get out of hand again, all you've got to do is contact law enforcement. Miss Spangler's conditions of release will be revoked, and she'll sit in jail till this case is resolved. Are you willing to take that responsibility and do that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Miss Spangler, I've got some real concerns. I understand the charging affidavit is just the charging affidavit. It's just what the police say happened. I am going to release you on pretrial release, which is going to require that they'll fill you in on what needs to happen, but you need to keep in contact with the pretrial release folks. You need to be certain you understand their rules so you follow their rules. You don't want to violate their rules by not understanding them, then your conditions of release are revoked. I'm going to order that you have no hostile contact with Mr. Bologna. What that means is I have jurisdiction over you. I do not have jurisdiction over him. So even if you're behaving in a way that you don't think is particularly hostile, but Mr. Bologna thinks it's hostile, all he's got to do, and he's told me he will do this, he'll contact law enforcement and your conditions of release will be revoked. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to require that you not consume any alcohol while you're out on release on this charge. It appears that appears to be the focus of the issue here. You're also not to consume any recreational illegal drugs or any non-prescribed drugs. You're not to have any firearms or weapons. So that should take care of that. The case number is 2020 MM 3613A-0. Good luck. I'm going to be at this all day at the rate I'm going. All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Basner?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Mr. Basner, you're charged with possession of cocaine.
Yes, sir.
I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. The public defender has been appointed. Good luck, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
You're welcome very much. All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Are you Mr. Correa No Melendez?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You are charged with trafficking in fentanyl, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of a counterfeit license plate or validation sticker, and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. I am going to find probable cause. The public defender is appointed. I'm going to set bond on the fentanyl in the amount of $10,000. Possession of cocaine with intent to deliver or sell in the amount of $1,000. The counterfeit license plate in the amount of $500, and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis in the amount of $500, for a total of $12,000. I'm going to require you have no contact directly or indirectly with Carmen Yvette Abreu Velasquez. And that case number is 2020 CF 6170.
Your Honor,
I also have on Mr. Correa, no Melendez. Is this a violation of probation on the charge of sale and delivery of heroin? Is that right?
Yes.
All right, that's a violation of probation. That is in Division 10. The bond is none. I'm going to stay the bond at none on that case. And that's 2016 CF 5318A-O. And then I've already got, the driving license suspended or revoked. Can't forget that. There's also probable cause on that. And I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. And that last case number is 2020 CT 3241. I think we got it all. All right, this gentleman doesn't look like an Aaron Downing.
No, sir.
I guess we'll come back to that.
He bonded, Your Honor.
She bonded?
Yes.
Aaron Tessa Downing?
Yes, bond.
Bonded. Thank you. Is this Mr. Francis Fitzpatrick?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Fitzpatrick is charged with possession of meth. He's also has a violation of probation on the charge of stolen property. Is that out of county? No? Remember. Looking for a case number on the VOP.
It's CRD, sir.
Your Honor, it's violation of parole.
I saw that, but we don't have parole in Florida anymore, do we? I have no information. It just says violation of parole. All right. Well, let's make this easy. So we've got possession of meth. There's probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. That's on 2020 CF 6165AO, Division 15 case. There's also another case which says E27932.
My DC number, sir.
I'm sorry, it's a
my
what?
DC number.
Oh, okay. So there's a violation of parole. The bond is none. Oh. Okay. All right, good luck, sir. All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Fleming?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Fleming is charged with failure to report as a sex offender. There was a warrant issued by Judge Gail Adams, setting bond in the amount of $2,000. I'm going to stay that bond at $2,000. I'm going to require that Mr. Fleming report to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 72 hours of release to report. Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Gilbert?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Mr. Gilbert, you are here on charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have other charges for which you were arrested in April of 2020, possession of meth, possession of drug paraphernalia, and that's in case 2020 CF 5304 AO, and also out on bond on 2016 CF 10376 AO, the charge of possession of cocaine and possession of a controlled substance. On the new charge for which you were arrested on May 18th, which is case number 2020 CF 6156 AO, I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond on the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in the amount of $10,000. On the possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia, set bond in the amount of $100. I'm going to revoke the bonds on the 2020 CF 5304 AO and the 2016 CF 10376 AO, setting bonds in the amount of none. Patrick left it. Next, I have Erica Navarez, and this does not appear to be Erica.
She bonded, Your Honor.
You bonded? Thank you. And that case number was 2020 CF 6137. Might this be Daryl Ottinger?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Ottinger. Mr. Ottinger, you're here on a charge of possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 on the possession of cocaine, $100 on the possession of paraphernalia. Good luck, sir. Good afternoon. Is this Mr. Rivera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rivera, you're here on the charge of grand theft third degree from a construction site and trespass on a designated construction site. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond on the grand theft in the amount of $2,500. Bond on the trespass in the amount of $150. I'm going to require you have no contact directly or indirectly with co-defendant Francisco Javier Abella Salgado, who I previously saw this morning. And the public defender, if I've not already said, has already been appointed. Thanks, sir. All right. Are you Mr. Rivera?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Rivera is here on charges of pursuant to an arrest warrant the charges are armed burglary of a conveyance. Well, hang on a second. Let me look at the warrant. Yep. Okay. Charges are armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm, grand theft third degree motor vehicle, burglary of a conveyance, grand theft third degree firearm, criminal mischief greater than $200, less than $1,000, criminal mischief greater than $200, less than $1,000, criminal mischief greater than $200, less than $1,000, petty theft and petty theft. That's a total of 10 counts. There's an arrest warrant where bond has been set. in the amount of $30,200 combined. I'm going to stay the bonds in those amounts.
Is there
Mr. Rivera was also apparently out on ROR on the charge of child abuse and battery in 2020 CF 5743A-0. I'm going to revoke the bond of the ROR on that case, set the bond at none. He was also out on a bond on 2020 CF 4418A-0 on the charges of burglary to a dwelling, grand theft, greater than $100 from a dwelling or curtilage, dealing in stolen property, receiving money from a pawnbroker, or false verification. He was out on bond on that. I'm going to revoke the bonds on that, sent bond at none. He's also out on 2020 MM 370AW, which started as a felony, charges petty theft. He's out on bond of $100, and I'll revoke that, set the bond at none.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that you could move my bond down from 30,000? Because I can't afford that for my mom, and I live with my grandma right now, and I'm the only person taking care of her. So I just was wondering if I could go back to her. I'm really trying to change my life. I have 2 jobs now. I live with my grandma. I took myself away from all the bad things. I just really want to get my life together. I'm finishing school, about to go to college, and I really...
Well, I'm going to stay the bonds on the warrant signed by the judge that originally issued the warrant. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. You may want to talk to that lawyer. They may be able to file the appropriate motions to get those bonds reduced. All right? Good
So
luck.
am I stuck here then?
I've set the conditions of release. It's all going to be on your paperwork. If you say that you can't afford it, then you're going to be there until something else changes. Good luck.
I can get released on $3,000.
Are you Mr. Royal? Mr. Royal?
Hello. Yeah.
All right, James Royal?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Royal, you're charged with possession of heroin. I find there's probable cause. The public defender's been appointed. The bond is $1,000. Good luck.
Your Honor, next on the list is Safrant behavior.
Meradson Safrant?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, can we waive his appearance?
Sure. So Mr. Safrant is not joining us this afternoon. All right, Mr. Safrant's charged with possession of meth and also introducing that substance or another substance into the county detention facility. On the possession of meth, probable cause is found. Public defender is appointed. 2020 CF 6158A-0. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. On 2020 CF 6175, introduction of contraband into a county detention facility. Probable cause is found. Public defender is appointed. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. The defendant's appearance is waived by his counsel. Good afternoon. Is this Ms. Sinclair?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Sinclair is charged with possession of meth and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to find probable cause. The public defender has been appointed. Bond on the meth is $1,000. Bond on the drug paraphernalia is $500. You know what? I'm going to change that to $100. So the total will be $1,100, $1,000 on the meth, and $100 on the paraphernalia.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck. All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith is charged with possession of heroin. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. The public defender has been appointed. It appears as though Mr. Smith was out on bond of possession of heroin in 2020 CF 5770A-0. I'll stay that bond. In other words, I'm not going to take action on the case on which he's already out on bond.
Oh, that means I can bond out?
Antonio Ubiles?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ubiles, you're charged with burglary to an occupied conveyance, unarmed. You're also charged with, and that case number is 2020 CF 6145AO. In 2020 CF 6150, you're charged with obstructing justice in tampering with felony third degree, battery with a prior conviction of battery, burglary to an unoccupied conveyance, burglary to an unoccupied conveyance, damage, property, criminal mischief over $200, under $1,000, resisting an officer without violence. I find probable cause on all those offenses. On the burglary to an unoccupied conveyance in 2020 CF 6145A-0, I'm going to stay the bond at $3,500. On 2020 CF 6150, I'm going to stay the bonds as previously set. The $3,500 on the burglary to an unoccupied conveyance, and it looks like $150 on the obstructing justice, $150 on the battery, $150 on the burglary, the criminal mischief $100, and the resisting $100. So I've just stayed them. That makes your life easier. So that's my goal. All right. Mr. Winkles.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Winkles is charged with possession of heroin. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. The public defender is appointed. Mr. Young.
Yes, sir.
All right. Farrell Yolando Young. Charged with grand theft, third degree motor vehicle. I'm going to find probable cause, set bond in the amount of $1,000. The public defender has been appointed. Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Davis is charged with a failure to appear in case number 2019 MM 3169. The charge was a trespass in a structure. He failed to appear for a pretrial on 8/12/2019. He was arrested on May 18th. He's got 2 days in. Is that correct, ma'am? Today being the 19th? Well, did he have some other time in on the original charge? Bear with us for a minute, Mr. Davis. Okay. We're going to calculate your time served.
Your Honor, he has 3 days in.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess we should have asked you. All right. All right, Mr. Davis, you've got choices this afternoon. I'm going to release you today. You can be released on your own recognizance and then come back to face the charge of trespass. Alternatively, if you want to enter a plea of no contest to this charge, I would adjudicate you guilty of the trespass, sentence you to 3 days in jail you've already served, give you credit for those 3 days, impose court costs of $273. Either way, you're going to get out, but you wouldn't have to come back and address that charge.
I'll take the second option.
Okay, all right. So you want to enter a plea of no contest. Has anyone pressured you or forced you into entering this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No, sir.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of trespass in a structure, which I believe is a first-degree misdemeanor. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of that offense. I'm going to sentence you to 3 days in Orange County Jail with credit for the 3 days that you've already served. Court costs are going to run you $273. I'll give you up to a year to pay that off. You can always go to the collections clerk to get on a payment plan. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence that I just imposed. If you want to appeal, your appeal has to be in writing, and if you cannot afford an attorney for that appeal, I can appoint one. All right?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir.
All right.
All right, Mr. Alicia?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Alicia, you are charged with driving with license suspended or revoked. You are out on bond. So the new charge is 20 CT 3238 AO. The charge of driving with license suspended or revoked with knowledge. I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. The public defender has been appointed. You're currently out on bond from March on 2020 CF 30110 AO. I'm going to stay that bond. I'm going to take no action on that bond. So you still got to take care of the felony charge for the same charge, and the public defender has been appointed. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, next on the list is Bartley, bonded.
I'm sorry, the next one on the list is Bradley? All right.
He bonded.
Okay. Then I don't need to address that. All right. Are you Aquisha Hutchinson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Hutchinson is charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I'm going to find that there is probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500, and the public defender is appointed. Good luck. Justin McPhee.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. McPhee is charged with DUI causing property damage or personal injury. I'm going to find probable cause. Public defender's been appointed. Apparently there's a DUI causing property damage or personal injury, and then another DUI without. I find probable cause for both. The case number is 20 CT 3242 and 20 CT 3243. I'm going to set bond on the DUI causing property damage. The first charge case number is the bond amount is $1,000. The bond amount on the second, the standard DUI is $500. The public defender has been appointed.
Your Honor, he qualifies for PTR.
He's been in since yesterday. All right, I'm going to give him the choice of either posting bond or being released on pretrial release. Sir, if you decide that you want to take advantage of pretrial release, be certain you understand the rules, that you don't violate those rules, or your release will be revoked.
Okay.
Your Honor, next on the list is Williams, bonded.
Okay. Taj Williams, bonded on
Also
20
next-
CT 372.
Also next on the list is Costa, bonded.
Christopher James Costa, bonded. You're on a roll. Don't stop now. Who else bonded? I got a big pile here. If they bonded, that's cool with me. Is this Ms. Durden?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Durden, you are charged with retail theft and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to find, this is at the Walmart located at 3101 West Princeton. I'm going to find probable cause on the petty theft. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $250. On the possession of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $100. The total is going to be $350. A condition of release is no return to the Walmart located at 3101 West Princeton. The public defender's office has been appointed.
Your Honor, she is currently out on an Orange County case.
Ms. Durden?
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
It's case
Could you give
number.
the case number, please?
Yes, 2019 MM 009969AO. It's for a failure to
19
appear of petty theft.
Oh, that's not good. All right. All right. So she is out on bond on the failure to appear, or she failed to appear on that charge for which she was out on bond?
She was out on bond. Out on PTR, and it was
Okay.
already for a failure to appear of petty theft. It was a warrant.
Oh. Pretrial diversion? All right, so she was out on PTR on the pretrial diversion? Because once she goes into pretrial diversion, the PTR is going to go away, right? I think what's going to happen on the 19MM with the new law violation is if she's not done with pretrial diversion, she's going to get kicked out of pretrial diversion. So I'm not going to take any action on that, except that case should go with this case. Is there a way to do that? I think it just says Division A. It's not yet been assigned.
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm going to take no action on 19MM9969AO, other than to let Ms. Durden know. Ms. Durden, you're going to want to make certain that you don't forget about the PTD case, and you get all these cases resolved, because you got two different sets of cases. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
It seems like I'm trying to make your life more complicated. I'm really not doing that. All right. All right. Mr. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Thomas is here on charge of resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to find probable cause, set bond in the amount of $500, and the public defender has been appointed.
Next on the list is Zoya, mental health.
I did not hear that. Did he say Mr. Zoya pled? I mean,
Yes.
mental health. Okay. Okay. So we just recall him tomorrow? Is that what happened? Okay. I would have heard about it. Let's not slow our roll. Is this Mr. Appleby?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Appleby.
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Appleby's here on an out-of-county warrant from Sewanee County.
Yes, sir.
And that warrant has a no bond on ag assault. I'm going to stay the bond at none.
Yes, sir.
And that will be that. Okay. The next one I have is Jeffrey Boston, also an out-of-county warrant for child support. It looks like there's a purge amount. This is out of Volusia County. Can he post the 570 and he's out? Is that what happened? Okay. All right. So there's a warrant with a purge amount. No, wait. Purge is $500 plus a $70 sheriff's fee. So I'm gonna stay that the way it is, and if Mr. Boston can't post that, what happens? They come get him from Volusia?
I don't know if they
Okay. All right.
Can I post it here?
All right. Terry Byerly. All right, Mr. Bartley is charged with battery. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. I have the statement of a witness. I don't have the victim's name. So there's probable cause because the victim talked to the law enforcement officer. So I'd like to order that there be no contact with the victim, but I don't know who that is. You have something I don't have? I thought it might be. I just didn't read carefully enough. All right. So I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. Find probable cause. No contact with the victim directly or indirectly. No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons or firearms. Public defender is appointed.
Your Honor, next on the list is Joseph, mental health.
I did not hear you. I'm sorry.
Last name Joseph, mental health.
Mental health. All right. Thanks, sir. I'm seeing the end here. Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Trent?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Trent. Mr. Trent is here on a charge of having an open container. And it appears as though Mr. Trent has 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 days in. All right, Mr. Trent, I'm going to release you today. You've got two choices. One choice is I can release you with a return date. You're going to have to come back and address the charges on that date. I see that you don't have an address, so you need to be certain that you pay attention and you know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there. Alternatively, if you wanted to resolve this case today by not contesting the charge that you had an open container of alcohol, which I think was a natural light, I would adjudicate you guilty of that offense, sentence you to 4 days in jail, give you credit for the 4 days you served, and you wouldn't have to come back and deal with this case.
Could I take option number 2?
Option number 2? All right. I also see that you've got another charge for which you're currently out on bond. I'm not going to take any action on that. So even though you're going to resolve this case today, you still have to keep in contact with whatever. Looks like your lawyer is Laura Parker. You're going to want to keep in contact with your lawyer. So don't think that resolving this case is going to make the possession of meth case goes away. You still have to deal with that one, okay?
All right.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Trent, you told me you want to resolve the possession of alcohol in public by entering a plea of no contest. Has anyone pressured you or forced you into that plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs this afternoon?
No, sir.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of possession of alcoholic beverage in an open container. I'm going to adjudicate you to be guilty of that offense. I'm going to sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail. I'm going to credit you the 4 days you've already served. There are court costs of $273. I'll give you up to a year to pay that off. You can always go to the collections clerk and get on a payment plan. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence I just imposed. If you want to appeal, your appeal has to be in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney for that appeal, I can appoint one. All right? Good luck, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Ms. Butler?
Yes, sir.
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Butler. Ms. Butler, you're here on a charge of Looks like you're on here on a violation of probation on resisting an officer without violence on 2019 CF 10587AO. You're also charged with possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver in 2020 CF 6153. So I'm correct in understanding the VOP has a bond? It says it. Yeah, it must be an on view.
Your Honor, the VOP doesn't have a bond.
Okay. All right. Well, then whoever wrote the report put it in the wrong place. So there's no. All right. And what was? And that was for resisting. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find probable cause on the possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. I'm also on the misdemeanor going to find, based upon the fact that Ms. Butler was on probation at the time, that's a violation. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. The total will be $2,000 on the two cases. And the public defender is appointed. William Carr.
Yes, sir.
Carr, you were here on a charge of violation of probation.
Yes.
Signed by Tom Young on April 5th. Judge Tom Young.
Yes, sir.
And that case number is 2018 CF 501AO. Judge Young has set bond at none. I'll stay the bond at none. Mr. Chappelle.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Chappelle is here on a violation of probation. It looks like ×4. Let me make sure I've got this right. All right, so I have 4 violations of probation, all out of Division 22. Case numbers appear to be 2013 on all 4, CF 129, 139, 141, and 10979. There is an outstanding warrant signed by Judge LeBlanc on each and every one. Judge LeBlanc has set the bond at none. I'll stay the bond at none. Matthew Hamilton.
Yes, sir.
All right. If I've got this correct, Mr. Hamilton has a new charge of resisting an officer without violence in 2020 MM 427. Find probable cause. I set bond in the amount of $500. It appears that at the time Mr. Hamilton was on bond, all out of division. Oh, two cases out of Division 19, 1 case out of Division 15. I'm missing one. Another case out of Division 19. All right. All right, so the three cases out of Division 19 are 19 CF 11809, 19 CF 12362, and 19 12675. Those bonds are none. I'll stay the bonds at none. And then in 20 CF 1008 out of Division 15, that's a violation of probation. That bond is set at none. I'll stay the bond at none. So we have the resisting and then the VOPs.
Your Honor, he does have cases that.
Oh, he's got, is that the yellow? So in addition to, I thought these were the VOPs, 809. Yeah, I think they're the VOPs. 2019 CF 11809.
No, he has a few cases. Some that he's out on RRR. One case is a 2020 CF 1550AO.
Oh, I see that. Okay. And he's got 1548 AO,
Yes, Your Honor.
1547 AO, 1546 AO. Okay. He's out on ROR on all of those. Those were not yet, he's not on probation on those. I gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm going to revoke all those RORs, set bond at none. He's also got a 1538 AO where he's got bond. I'm going to revoke that. So all the things he's already out on, those are all going to be revoked and bond set at none. Did I take care of it all? Okay, got it.
Damn.
No, sorry. Sorry.
Is this Mr. Gwinson?
No, Davis.
Oh, no, I got one more here. All right. Is this Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, you're here on the charge of disorderly conduct and also state misdemeanors. State misdemeanor was the open container.
It was.
So it looks like you've got disorderly conduct in an open container. Looks like you were arrested on May 18th, which is 2 days ago.
Well, I got a question. Sorry.
Hang on one second, Mr. Davis. Let me explain where you find yourself, and then I'll answer any question that you've got, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, based upon these charges, I'm going to release you today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you've got choices as to that release. One choice is you can come back another day and address those charges, or if you wanted to enter pleas of no contest to those charges, actually what I would do is if you state, do you have any objection if you plead to the disorderly if I drop the open container?
I think, what if we just do the sentences concurrent, Your Honor?
Okay.
Or
All right.
withhold as to the open container?
All right. So, Mr. Davis, the state brings the charges, so they have a choice as to what goes forward. So here's your choice. You're going to be released today. Your release is not dependent upon you resolving the cases today. So you could just be, I could release you. I see you don't have a current address, so it's going to be really important you keep track of where you're supposed to be, made more complicated by our current situation. You don't want to miss court. You get a warrant issued for your arrest, and you have to come back to jail, and bad things happen from that. So that's an option you've always got. You can contest these accusations against you. Your second choice is if you wanted to not contest the charges against you, that being that you behaved in a disorderly conduct, that you behaved disorderly, and that you had open container of alcohol on you, I would sentence you to the time that you've already served. I would impose a mandatory court costs, which are $273. They're mandatory. I give you up to a year to pay those off. You can get a payment plan if you need that, but you wouldn't have to come back.
Okay.
Okay. So which would you like to do? Either way, you're going to go home. Do you want to resolve them today or come back and resolve them?
I would think pleading no contest would probably be my best bet, wouldn't it?
I can't give you that advice, but it would mean that you wouldn't have to keep track of this and you wouldn't have to come back.
I will do that.
Okay. All right, sir. Has anyone pressured you or forced you into entering these pleas of no contest?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
No, sir.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported by entering these pleas.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of disorderly conduct in violation of City Ordinance 4306. I'm going to adjudicate you to be guilty of that offense. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. I'm going to give you credit for the 2 days that you of time served. I'm going to impose mandatory court costs. Since that's a county case, do you know what this court costs? $223. I'll give you up to a year to pay that off. As to the charge of open container in violation of City Ordinance 43.3, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of that. I'm going to sentence you to the same 2 days that I just sentenced you to, run them concurrent, and give you credit. And there's no further sanctions. I will suggest to you that you stay out of the roadway.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You have 30 days to appeal my sentence. If you want to appeal, your appeal has to be in writing. And if you cannot afford an attorney for that appeal, I can appoint one. All right?
All right, man. All right.
All right, good.
I'm Clay, man. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck. I've been called worse. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, man. All right. Other than Clerger Gwinson. Oh, it is?
Just 30 days.
So I have to take that. Oh, these are all the 30-day motions. All right. Do you have any other inmates over there?
No, Judge.
Okay, good. Good answer. All right. I've got some 33-day motions. I'll just go through these and see if the state has a position. I've got a motion to release Winston Clerger in 20 CF 4687 AO